Hi, my name is Niza Juarez and I'm with Keller Williams in the La Quinta location. And a couple tips I have for test taking is when you take the Keller Williams Saturday prep course, they give you a folder with a list of vocabulary. It's essential that you understand each and every word that they give you on that vocabulary list. You can break it up into chunks. You don't necessarily have to memorize everything all at once because that could be overwhelming. But once you do break it up and have a clear understanding of what each vocabulary word means, that will be your ally on the test. Because if you are unfamiliar with the words on that list and you get a test question with one of those words on the vocabulary list, chances are there'll be 5 or 6 questions in regards to that word, so you could put yourself in a position where you miss 5 or 6 questions based on lack of vocabulary knowledge. And on the other side of that same coin, you could leverage yourself by having that clear knowledge of the vocabulary related to real estate, and in addition, give yourself 5 or 6 questions that you can answer correctly because you do have that clear understanding of what each word means. And it'll just make the test a lot easier by having that clear knowledge of what the real estate vocabulary is that they give you. It's in the back portion of that binder that Keller Williams gives you for the Saturday test course. And again, you don't try and memorize everything all at one time. Break it up into chunks, and certainly don't do it all in one weekend. That's just not going to happen. You do need to pace yourself because, and studies even show that if you break your study time into somewhere between half hour, 45 minutes, give yourself a 10-minute break, you do hold on to more. And so that is critical with the vocabulary. And break it up alphabetically too. A, B, C on one Saturday, and the rest of the alphabet Sunday and Monday, and give yourself a daily to-do list of vocabulary words, flashcards. Go back to whatever worked for you when you were in high school or middle school. If you were not that student that set yourself up with flashcards, you could always find a way. That's part of the fun in discovering your business potential in real estate, is what works for you. And so it's definitely something that you have to find out for yourself what works for you as far as study techniques go. And so that's where the error, how do you say it, where trial and error is where you're going to have to decide as to what your study style is. So like I said, as whatever it takes, as long as you do have that clear concept of the vocabulary in the back. And of course, everything else included in that binder is essential too. But what I really feel helped me on that study day, on that test day, is the fact that I did have a clear understanding of real estate vocabulary and that list that KW selected as to what you're going to see on the test, because you will see it on the test. And don't wait for the last minute. I cannot state that enough, is don't procrastinate on that, because then that is where your anxiety comes in. That's where the fear comes in, and that is where you do trip up. But just remember, if that does happen, you can take the test. If you're in California, as far as I know, you can take the test again as little as the next day. So that kind of does take a lot of the anxiety away as to what happens if I fail. Well, if you do, you have another shot the very next day if you want. So that did put me at ease a little bit too.